Can you feel it? There's a buzz in the air, a tingle down your spine. It's like the whole world is holding its breath, waiting for something big to happen. Well, guess what? You're not imagining things. Something huge is coming our way, and it's going to change everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. Change? That sounds scary. And you're right, it can be scary. But here's the thing. This change isn't just big, it's also amazing. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. It's a massive spiritual shift that's about to rock our world in the best possible way. Think of it like this. You know how sometimes you wake up and you just feel different? Like you've grown overnight? Well, that's what's happening to our whole planet right now. We're all about to wake up to a new reality, a new way of seeing and experiencing the world. And trust me, once you understand what's coming, you'll be excited, not scared. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about this spiritual stuff? I've got bills to pay and a life to live. I get it. I really do. But here's the thing. This isn't just some far-out woo-woo idea. This spiritual shift is going to affect every single part of your life, whether you believe in spiritual things or not. Imagine waking up one day and suddenly understanding things you never got before. Picture yourself feeling more connected to the people around you, even strangers. Think about how it would feel to suddenly know, deep in your bones, what you're meant to do with your life. That's what this shift can bring. But here's the catch. If we're not ready for it, this shift could feel overwhelming. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose instead of a water fountain. That's why it's so important to get ready now. If we prepare ourselves, we can ride this wave of change instead of being swept away by it. And let me tell you, the difference between being prepared and being caught off guard is huge. Those who are ready will find themselves growing, evolving, and thriving in ways they never thought possible. But those who ignore the signs, well, they might find themselves feeling lost, confused, and left behind. So, what exactly is coming? Picture a massive storm, but instead of rain and wind, it's bringing waves of spiritual energy. This energy is set to wash over our entire planet, touching every single one of us. It's like a cosmic alarm clock, waking us up to a whole new level of existence. Now, I know spiritual energy might sound a bit vague, so let me break it down for you. This energy is like a supercharge for our consciousness. It's going to expand our awareness, heighten our intuition, and deepen our connection to each other and the world around us. Imagine suddenly being able to feel the emotions of those around you, or knowing things without being told. Picture waking up with a clear sense of purpose, understanding exactly what you need to do to fulfill your potential. That's the kind of change we're talking about. But it's not just about individual experiences. This shift is going to change the way our whole society works. We might see big changes in the way we treat each other, the way we do business, even the way we govern ourselves. It's like we're all about to level up as a species. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Well, here's the thing. Change, even positive change, can be uncomfortable. When this shift hits, it might feel like the rug is being pulled out from under us. Everything we thought we knew might be called into question. That's why some people are calling this event scary. It's not because bad things are going to happen, but because the change is going to be so big and so fast that it might feel overwhelming at first. It's like jumping into a cold pool. That initial shock can be intense, but once you adjust, it feels great. So, what might this shift look like in our day-to-day lives? Well, you might start noticing small changes at first. Maybe you'll find yourself feeling more empathetic towards others, even people you don't usually get along with. You might start having vivid dreams that seem to be telling you something important. As the shift intensifies, you might experience moments of intense clarity where you suddenly understand complex ideas that used to confuse you. You might feel drawn to new interests or passions, especially ones that involve helping others or connecting with nature. Some people might experience physical symptoms too. Don't be surprised if you find yourself needing more sleep, or conversely, feeling energized on less sleep than usual. You might have changes in appetite, or feel sensations of energy moving through your body. On a larger scale, we might start seeing changes in the way our society functions. There could be a growing emphasis on cooperation rather than competition. We might see a surge in innovative solutions to long-standing problems as people tap into new levels of creativity and insight. There's also likely to be a shift in our relationship with the natural world. As our consciousness expands, we'll probably become more aware of our connection to the earth and all living things. This could lead to big changes in the way we approach environmental issues. Now, I know all of this might sound a bit out there. You might be thinking, how can some spiritual energy change the world so much? And that's a fair question. The truth is, we don't know exactly how everything will play out. But throughout history, there have been periods of rapid growth and change that transformed society. This shift is like that, but on a much bigger scale. Think of it like this. Our consciousness is like a radio, and up until now, we've only been able to tune into a few stations. This shift is like upgrading our radio to pick up a whole range of new frequencies. Suddenly, we'll have access to so much more information, so many more possibilities. But here's the really exciting part. This shift isn't happening to us. It's happening through us. We're not passive observers in this process. Each one of us has a role to play in how this energy is grounded and expressed in the world. That's why it's so important to start preparing now. The more ready we are, the more we can participate in shaping this new reality. It's like we're all co-creating the future together, and the choices we make now will help determine what that future looks like. So, how can you start getting ready? The first step is simply being aware. Now that you know this shift is coming, start paying attention. Notice the small changes in yourself and the world around you. Trust your intuition more. If you feel drawn to learn about something new, follow that impulse. It's also important to take care of yourself physically and emotionally. This shift is going to require a lot of energy, so make sure you're eating well, getting enough rest, and doing things that bring you joy and peace. Meditation can be incredibly helpful, as it helps you become more aware of your inner world. Another crucial aspect of preparation is working on your relationships. As our consciousness expands, we're going to become more aware of how interconnected we all are. Start practicing more compassion and understanding in your interactions with others. Work on forgiveness and letting go of old grudges. Remember, this shift isn't about becoming perfect overnight. It's a process, and everyone will experience it in their own way and at their own pace. The key is to stay open, stay curious, and most importantly, stay kind to yourself and to others. As we move forward, it's natural to have questions and concerns. You might be wondering how this shift will affect your job, your relationships, your daily life. The truth is, we can't predict exactly how things will change. But what we do know is that the more flexible and open-minded we can be, the easier this transition will be. Think of it like learning to swim. At first, the water might feel strange and even a little scary. But as you relax and trust the process, you'll find yourself floating effortlessly. This spiritual shift is similar. If we can relax into it, trust the process, we'll find ourselves carried to amazing new heights. Now, I want to address something important. You might be thinking, I'm not a very spiritual person. Does this mean I'm going to be left behind? Absolutely not. This shift isn't about religion or any specific spiritual practice. It's about expanding our awareness and our capacity for connection and understanding. No matter who you are or what you believe, this shift is for you. In fact, sometimes people who don't consider themselves spiritual can have an easier time with this kind of shift. Why? Because they often have fewer preconceived notions about what spirituality should look or feel like. They can approach the experience with fresh eyes and an open mind. So, whether you're a seasoned meditator or someone who's never given much thought to spirituality, know that you have a place in this shift. Your unique perspective and experiences are valuable and needed as we co-create this new reality. As we wrap up this section, I want to leave you with a sense of excitement and possibility. Yes, this shift might seem scary at first glance. Change often does. But remember, this is the kind of change that comes once in many lifetimes. It's a chance for all of us to grow, to heal, to become more than we ever thought possible. Imagine a world where we truly understand and support each other. Picture a society that works in harmony with nature instead of against it. Think about what it would be like to wake up every day feeling fully alive, fully connected, fully you. That's the kind of world this shift can help us create. But it starts with each one of us. It starts with being willing to open our minds and hearts to new possibilities. It starts with being brave enough to let go of old ways of thinking and being that no longer serve us. It starts with saying yes to this grand adventure we're all embarking on together. So, are you ready? Are you ready to be part of something bigger than yourself? Are you ready to grow and change in ways you never thought possible? Are you ready to help create a new world? The shift is coming. The energy is building. And you, yes you, have an important role to play. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and get ready. Something amazing is about to begin. Certainly. I'll continue with the next 3 sections of the script, maintaining the same engaging and in-depth style. Now that we've talked about what's coming, let's look at the signs that it's already beginning. You might have noticed some strange things happening lately. Don't worry, you're not going crazy. These are actually signs that the big shift is getting closer. First, let's talk about dreams. Have you been having more vivid dreams lately? Maybe dreams that feel so real you're not sure if you're awake or asleep. Or perhaps you're remembering your dreams more clearly than ever before. This is a common sign that the spiritual energy is ramping up. Think of it like this. When we sleep, our conscious mind takes a back seat, and our subconscious mind comes to the forefront. As this spiritual shift approaches, the veil between our conscious and subconscious minds is getting thinner. This means we're able to access more of our subconscious while we sleep, leading to these intense, vivid dreams. But it's not just about dreams. Many people are reporting feeling more emotional than usual. You might find yourself crying at commercials that never used to affect you, or feeling overwhelmingly happy for no apparent reason. Some people are experiencing sudden bursts of anger or frustration, even if they're usually pretty even-tempered. These emotional ups and downs are another sign that the shift is approaching. It's like our emotional bodies are going through a detox, bringing up old feelings and experiences that we need to process and release. It might feel uncomfortable, but it's actually a good thing. It's helping us clear out old emotional baggage so we're ready for the new energy coming in. Another common sign is a sudden interest in spiritual or metaphysical topics. Maybe you've never been interested in meditation before, but now you find yourself curious about it. Or perhaps you're drawn to books about energy healing or ancient wisdom traditions. This is your intuition guiding you towards tools and knowledge that will help you navigate the coming shift. Some people are also experiencing physical symptoms. These can include things like feeling dizzy or lightheaded, especially when you stand up quickly, ringing in the ears or hearing high-pitched tones, feeling heat or tingling sensations in your body, particularly in your hands or the top of your head, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, feeling unusually tired or energized. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms and you're concerned, it's always a good idea to check with a doctor. But if your doctor gives you a clean bill of health, these sensations might be signs that your body is adjusting to the new energy. Another interesting sign is a changing relationship with time. You might find that time seems to speed up or slow down in strange ways. Maybe you sit down to do a task and suddenly 3 hours have passed in what felt like minutes. Or perhaps a week goes by in a blur, and you can hardly believe it's already Friday again. This shifting perception of time is another indication that our consciousness is expanding. As we become more aware of the present moment, our experience of time can become more fluid. Synchronicities are another big sign that the shift is approaching. These are meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random chance. Maybe you keep seeing the same number everywhere you look. Or perhaps you think of an old friend and then bump into them at the grocery store an hour later. These synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, letting you know you're on the right track. You might also notice changes in your relationships. Some friendships might suddenly feel distant or strained, while you find yourself drawn to new people who share your emerging interests. This is a natural part of the growth process. As you change and evolve, your relationships will shift too. Lastly, many people report a growing sense of urgency or anticipation. You might feel like you're waiting for something big to happen, even if you're not sure what it is. This is your intuition picking up on the approaching shift. Remember, you might experience all of these signs, or just a few, or even none at all. Everyone's journey is unique. The important thing is to stay aware and open to the changes happening within and around you. Now that we've talked about the signs, let's address the elephant in the room. Why this whole thing might feel pretty scary. Change, even positive change, can be intimidating. And when we're talking about a change this big, it's totally normal to feel a bit freaked out. First of all, let's acknowledge that fear is a natural human emotion. It's not something to be ashamed of or try to push away. In fact, fear can be a useful tool when we learn how to work with it. It alerts us to pay attention, to be cautious, and to prepare ourselves. One of the main reasons this shift might feel scary is because it's going to challenge a lot of what we think we know about the world and ourselves. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that a lot of the rules you've been living by aren't actually true. That can be pretty unsettling. For example, we might discover that we're much more powerful than we ever realized. That sounds great, right? But it also means taking responsibility for our lives in a whole new way. We can't blame our circumstances on bad luck or other people anymore. That level of responsibility can feel scary at first. Another reason this shift might feel frightening is because it's going to bring up a lot of stuff we've been avoiding. You know, those emotions or memories you've been pushing down for years. Well, as this shift intensifies, a lot of that stuff is going to come to the surface to be healed. Think of it like cleaning out a really messy closet. At first, it looks way worse as you pull everything out. There's stuff everywhere, and you wonder why you even started. But once you sort through it all, let go of what you don't need, and organize what's left, you end up with a beautiful, functional space. This shift is like a deep cleaning for our souls, messy at first, but ultimately incredibly freeing. The intensity of the experiences during this shift can also be scary. As our awareness expands, we might start perceiving things we couldn't before. This could include sensing energy, having psychic experiences, or even seeing or hearing things that others can't. If you're not prepared for these experiences, they can be pretty overwhelming. There's also the fear of the unknown. We don't know exactly how this shift will play out or what the world will look like on the other side. That uncertainty can be scary. We're comfortable with the world we know, even if it's not perfect. The idea of stepping into a whole new reality can feel like stepping off a cliff. Another aspect that might feel frightening is the potential for loss. As we grow and change, we might outgrow certain relationships, jobs, or ways of living. The prospect of letting go of familiar parts of our lives, even if they're not serving us anymore, can be really scary. It's also common to feel scared that you're not doing it right, or that you're going to be left behind. You might worry that you're not spiritual enough, or not evolving fast enough. But remember, this shift is for everyone. There's no right way to do it, and you can't be left behind. The universe doesn't leave anyone out. Now, here's something really important to understand. Feeling scared doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. In fact, if you're feeling scared, it probably means you're on the right track. Growth and change often feel uncomfortable. If you're feeling uncomfortable, it means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, and that's where the real growth happens. So, how do we deal with these fears? The first step is to acknowledge them. Don't try to push your fears away or pretend they don't exist. Instead, try to get curious about them. What exactly are you afraid of? Where do you feel that fear in your body? What thoughts come up when you feel scared? Once you've identified your fears, you can start to work with them. One powerful technique is to dialogue with your fear. Imagine your fear is a part of you that's trying to keep you safe. Thank it for trying to protect you, and then gently explain that you're safe and that it's okay to move forward. Another helpful approach is to focus on the present moment. Often, our fears are about what might happen in the future. By bringing our attention back to the here and now, we can remind ourselves that in this moment, we're okay. Connecting with others who are going through similar experiences can also be incredibly helpful. Remember, you're not alone in this. Millions of people around the world are experiencing this shift. Sharing your fears and experiences with others can help you feel supported and understood. Lastly, try to cultivate a sense of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in the universe. Remember, this shift is ultimately a positive thing. Even if it feels scary at times, it's leading us towards a more connected, loving, and fulfilling way of living. Now that we've talked about the signs of the shift and why it might feel scary, let's dive into how we can prepare ourselves. We'll start with preparing our minds, because our thoughts and beliefs play a huge role in shaping our experiences. The first and most important step in preparing your mind is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being aware of the present moment without judgment. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to simply sit and observe your thoughts. Don't try to change them or judge them, just notice them. It's like you're sitting on a riverbank, watching leaves float by on the water. The leaves are your thoughts. Just let them pass without getting caught up in them. This practice of mindfulness helps in a few important ways. First, it helps you become more aware of your thought patterns. You might start to notice that you have certain thoughts or worries that come up again and again. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can start to change them. Secondly, mindfulness helps you create a bit of space between you and your thoughts. You start to realize that you are not your thoughts, you're the awareness behind them. This can be incredibly freeing, especially when you're dealing with fear or negative thoughts about the shift. Another crucial aspect of preparing your mind is to work on your beliefs. Our beliefs shape our reality in powerful ways. If you believe that the world is a scary, dangerous place, that's the kind of experience you're likely to have. But if you believe that the world is full of opportunities for growth and joy, you'll find evidence of that instead. Start by examining your beliefs about this spiritual shift. Do you believe it's something positive? Do you believe you're capable of handling the changes? If you notice any limiting beliefs, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Where did I learn this belief? How might things be different if I believed something else? Affirmations can be a powerful tool for reshaping your beliefs. These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself regularly. For example, you might use affirmations like, I am open and ready for positive change in my life. I trust in the process of life and I am safe. I am growing and evolving every day. I welcome new experiences with an open heart and mind. Remember, the goal isn't to force yourself to believe these things immediately. It's to plant seeds in your subconscious mind that will grow over time. Visualization is another powerful technique for preparing your mind. Spend some time each day visualizing yourself moving through this shift with grace and ease. See yourself feeling confident, joyful, and empowered. Imagine the positive changes in your life and how good they feel. When you visualize, try to engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? How does your body feel? The more vivid and detailed your visualizations, the more powerful they'll be. It's also important to feed your mind with positive, uplifting information. Be mindful of what you're consuming, the news, social media, books, movies, etc. Try to balance out any negative input with positive, inspiring content that supports your growth. Learning to manage your energy is another crucial skill. Your thoughts and emotions have a big impact on your energy levels. Practice noticing when certain thoughts or situations drain your energy and which ones energize you. Then, you can start making choices that support your energy. Developing your intuition is also a key part of mental preparation. Your intuition is like an internal compass that can guide you through the changes ahead. Start paying attention to your gut feelings and those little nudges you get. The more you listen to and act on your intuition, the stronger it will become. Lastly, cultivate an attitude of curiosity and wonder. Approach this shift as an exciting adventure. Be curious about the changes you're experiencing. Wonder about the possibilities that are opening up. This attitude of openness and excitement can make a huge difference in how you experience the shift. Remember, preparing your mind isn't about achieving perfection. It's about creating new habits and patterns that will support you through this time of change. Be patient with yourself and celebrate every small step forward. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and by working with it consciously, you're setting yourself up for an amazing journey ahead. Certainly, I'll continue with the remaining sections of the script and add a conclusion, maintaining the same engaging and in-depth style. Now that we've talked about preparing our minds, let's focus on how to get our bodies ready for this big spiritual shift. You might be wondering, why does my body matter in a spiritual event? Well, the truth is, our physical bodies are deeply connected to our spiritual selves. Think of your body as the vehicle that will carry you through this transformation. Just like you'd tune up your car before a long road trip, we need to prepare our bodies for this spiritual journey. First and foremost, let's talk about the basics: eating, sleeping, and moving. These might seem simple, but they're incredibly important. When it comes to food, try to eat foods that make you feel good and energized. For some people, this might mean eating more fruits and vegetables. For others, it might mean cutting back on processed foods. Listen to your body. It knows what it needs. Water is also super important. Our bodies are mostly water, and staying hydrated helps our energy flow more smoothly. Try to drink plenty of water throughout the day. Some people find that they naturally want to drink more water as the shift approaches. If that's you, go with it. Sleep is another crucial factor. You might find that your sleep patterns are changing. Some people need more sleep during this time, while others need less. The key is to listen to your body. If you're feeling tired, rest. If you're wide awake at 3 a.m., don't fight it. Use that time to meditate or journal. Your body is adjusting to new energies, and your sleep patterns might reflect that. Moving your body is also really important. Exercise helps to circulate energy and can help you stay grounded during this time of change. This doesn't mean you need to start an intense workout routine. Even gentle movement like walking, yoga, or dancing can be really beneficial. The key is to find a way of moving that feels good to you. Now, let's talk about some more specific ways to prepare your body for this shift. Breathwork is a powerful tool that can help you move energy through your body and calm your nervous system. There are many different breathwork techniques out there, but a simple one to start with is box breathing. Here's how you do it. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Repeat. Try doing this for a few minutes each day. You might be surprised at how calm and centered it makes you feel. Another great way to prepare your body is through grounding practices. Grounding helps you feel connected to the earth and can be really helpful when you're dealing with intense energies. One simple grounding technique is to walk barefoot on grass or sand. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Imagine roots growing from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you. You might also want to try energy clearing techniques for your body. One simple method is to imagine a bright light starting at the top of your head and slowly moving down through your body, clearing out any stuck energy as it goes. You can do this in the shower, imagining the water washing away any energy that doesn't serve you. Epsom salt baths can also be really helpful. The magnesium in Epsom salts can help relax your muscles and clear your energy field. Try adding a cup of Epsom salts to your bath and soaking for 20 minutes. You can even add a few drops of lavender essential oil for extra relaxation. Lastly, pay attention to any physical symptoms you might be experiencing. Remember those symptoms we talked about earlier, like dizziness or ringing in the ears. If you're experiencing these, try to approach them with curiosity rather than fear. These symptoms are often signs that your body is adjusting to new energies. Of course, if you're concerned, always check with a healthcare provider. But if you've been given a clean bill of health, try to see these symptoms as signs of progress rather than problems. Remember, everyone's body will respond to this shift differently. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. The key is to stay tuned in to your own body and give it what it needs. Trust your instincts. Your body has an innate wisdom, and if you listen to it, it will guide you through this transition. Now that we've covered preparing our minds and bodies, let's dive into perhaps the most important aspect, preparing our spirits. This spiritual shift is all about expanding our consciousness and deepening our connection to the universe. So it makes sense that we need to give some special attention to our spiritual selves. First things first. If you don't already have a spiritual practice, now is a great time to start one. Don't worry, this doesn't mean you need to join a religion or follow any specific set of beliefs. A spiritual practice can be anything that helps you connect with your inner self and the world around you. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for spiritual growth. If you're new to meditation, don't be intimidated. You don't need to sit in silence for hours. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to your breath. Over time, you'll find it easier to quiet your mind and tap into that deep inner stillness. Prayer is another powerful spiritual practice. Again, this doesn't have to be associated with any particular religion. Prayer is simply a way of communicating with the divine, however you conceive of it. It could be God, the universe, your higher self, or simply the energy of love. The important thing is to open your heart and express your thoughts and feelings. Spending time in nature is another great way to prepare your spirit. Nature has a way of reminding us of the bigger picture and our place in it. Try going for walks in the park, sitting by a body of water, or even just tending to some houseplants. As you do, really pay attention to the natural world around you. Notice the intricate patterns in leaves, the sound of birds singing, the feeling of the wind on your skin. This kind of mindful connection with nature can be deeply spiritually nourishing. Gratitude is another powerful spiritual practice. Each day, take some time to think about what you're grateful for. It could be big things like your health or your loved ones, or small things like a delicious cup of coffee or a beautiful sunset. Focusing on gratitude helps shift your energy to a higher vibration, which is exactly what we want as we prepare for this spiritual shift. Working with crystals can also be a helpful spiritual practice. Different crystals have different energetic properties. For example, amethyst is often used for spiritual protection and purification, while rose quartz is associated with love and emotional healing. Even if you're skeptical about the metaphysical properties of crystals, simply holding a crystal and setting an intention can be a powerful focusing tool for your spiritual practice. Journaling is another great way to connect with your spiritual self. Try setting aside some time each day to write freely about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. You might be surprised at the insights that come through when you give yourself the space to reflect in this way. Energy healing practices like Reiki can also be really beneficial as we prepare for this shift. These practices work with the subtle energy body, helping to clear blockages and balance your chakras. If you're interested in energy healing, you might want to look for a practitioner in your area or even learn some basic techniques yourself. Developing your intuition is another important aspect of spiritual preparation. Your intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start paying attention to your gut feelings and those little nudges you get. When you have a hunch about something, follow it and see where it leads. Over time, you'll learn to trust your intuitive guidance more and more. It's also important to work on forgiveness as part of your spiritual preparation. This includes forgiving others who may have hurt you, but also forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Holding on to resentment or guilt can block your spiritual growth. Remember, forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful actions. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of negative emotions. Lastly, consider finding a spiritual community. This could be a local meditation group, an online forum, or even just a few like-minded friends. Having a community can provide support, encouragement, and a space to share your experiences as you go through this shift. Remember, spirituality is a deeply personal thing. What resonates with one person might not resonate with another, and that's okay. The key is to find practices that feel authentic and meaningful to you. Trust your own inner guidance. You have all the wisdom you need within you. Now that we've talked about how to prepare, let's dive into what you might expect as this big spiritual shift unfolds. Remember, everyone's experience will be unique, but there are some common themes that many people report. First off, you might experience a roller coaster of emotions. One day you might feel incredibly high, filled with love and joy for everything around you. The next day, you might feel low, maybe even depressed or anxious. This emotional roller coaster is totally normal. It's part of the process of clearing out old emotional patterns to make way for the new. The key is to not get too attached to any particular emotional state. Just observe your emotions, let them flow through you, and remember that this too shall pass. You might also experience periods of intense clarity alternating with periods of confusion. There might be moments where you suddenly understand complex spiritual concepts that used to baffle you. You might have profound insights about your life purpose or the nature of reality. But there might also be times when you feel lost and unsure of everything. Again, this is all part of the process. The confusion often comes when old belief systems are breaking down to make way for new understandings. Physical sensations are also common during this shift. You might feel tingling sensations, especially in your hands or the top of your head. Some people report feeling heat moving through their body or a sense of pressure in their forehead, often called the third eye area. You might also experience changes in your sleep patterns, appetite, or energy levels. Remember, if any physical symptoms are concerning you, it's always a good idea to check with a healthcare provider. Many people report an increase in synchronicities during this time. You might notice meaningful coincidences happening more often. Maybe you keep seeing certain numbers, or you think of someone and then they call you right away. These synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, letting you know you're on the right track. You might also find that your intuitive abilities are heightening. You might start knowing things without knowing how you know them. You might become more empathetic, able to sense what others are feeling more easily. Some people even report developing abilities like clairvoyance, seeing energy or spirits, or clairaudience, hearing guidance. Time might start to feel different. You might experience moments where time seems to stand still, or periods where time flies by unusually quickly. This shifting perception of time is often related to changes in your consciousness. Your relationships might go through changes too. You might find yourself naturally drifting away from some people and drawing closer to others. This is normal as your energy and priorities shift. You might also find that you're able to communicate more openly and honestly in your relationships. You might experience a deepening connection with nature and all living things. Many people report feeling a profound sense of oneness with the world around them. You might find yourself more drawn to spend time in nature or more concerned about environmental issues. Your dreams might become more vivid or meaningful. Pay attention to your dreams during this time. They might contain important messages or insights for you. You might also experience what's often called a dark night of the soul. This is a period of deep questioning and soul searching. You might feel like everything you thought you knew is being turned upside down. While this can be challenging, it's often followed by a period of profound growth and understanding. As the shift progresses, you might start to feel a deep sense of peace and trust in the universe. Even when challenging things happen, you might find that you're able to stay centered and calm. You might develop a sense that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You might also discover new passions or interests. You might feel called to learn about topics you've never been interested in before, or to express yourself creatively in new ways. Ultimately, what you can expect is a journey of profound growth and transformation. This shift is about expanding your consciousness and deepening your connection with all that is. It's about becoming more fully yourself and stepping into your true power. Remember, this shift is not a destination. It's a journey. There's no finish line to cross, no point at which you can say, I'm done. It's an ongoing process of growth and evolution. So be patient with yourself. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small it might seem. As we come to the end of this journey together, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed. We've talked about the signs that this huge spiritual shift is already starting, why it might feel scary, and how to prepare our minds, bodies, and spirits. We've explored what you might expect as this shift unfolds. Remember, this shift is not something happening to you. It's happening through you. You are an active participant in this grand cosmic dance. Your thoughts, your actions, your very being is contributing to the unfolding of this new reality. Yes, it might feel overwhelming at times. Yes, there might be moments of fear or confusion, but there will also be moments of profound joy, deep peace, and expansive love. This shift is an opportunity for healing, for growth, for becoming more fully who you truly are. As you move forward, remember to be gentle with yourself. This is a journey, not a race. There's no right way to do this. Trust your own inner wisdom. Listen to your heart. Follow what feels true and right for you. Stay curious. Stay open. When challenges arise, and they will, try to see them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Remember that you're not alone in this. Millions of people around the world are going through this shift too. Reach out, connect, share your experiences. Above all, remember that you are loved. You are supported. You are an integral part of this beautiful, interconnected web of life. As you expand your consciousness and step into your power, you're helping to create a more loving, more conscious world for all of us. So take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the beating of your heart. You are here, now, at this pivotal moment in human history. You have everything you need within you to navigate this shift. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the universe. Something huge is happening, and you're a part of it. It might feel scary at times, but it's also incredibly exciting. You're embarking on the adventure of a lifetime, the adventure of becoming more fully you. So get ready. Open your heart. Open your mind. The shift is here, and a whole new world of possibilities is waiting for you. You've got this. We've got this. Together, we're creating a brighter, more beautiful future for all. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. Remember, this is just the beginning. Keep learning, keep growing, keep shining your light. The world needs you now more than ever. Here's to the amazing journey ahead.